The VZ55 is a Tier 10 tech tree Czechoslovakian heavy. It's a vehicle that features decent alpha, okay mobility, and pretty solid armor. And in Update 10.3, I think Wargaming basically nailed everything they need to down on this vehicle when it came to its problems. The biggest one I had was traverse speed. This vehicle on medium terrain, which is like sand or anything that isn't pavement, would turn really slow. And it was a problem because anything could either flank you or track you. It was pretty bad. Thankfully, Wargaming buffed that in the latest update of the game. Not only did they buff that, but they also gave it more pen, even though it already had some of the highest premium pen in tier 10. So now it has 352 millimeters of APCR. That means armor is no longer a question for this vehicle. You will butter through anything. E100 turret, no problem. Minnow turret, no problem. So yeah, the pen on this vehicle is absolutely insane. Wargaming also slightly buffed the DPM, but it's not even really a noticeable buff. It's at 2,452. I don't even remember what it was at before, but it was like 2,430. So the DPM really didn't change, and the pen is still just as good as ever. So the major thing that was really buffed on the VZ is the traverse speed. And speaking of medium terrain, all of mines is medium. The way that terrain works is there's 3 different classifications, right? Pavement is hard terrain. That's where whatever value it says your tank's going to turn at is that value. Then there is medium terrain, which is the most common in the game. Medium terrain is any type of dirt or grass. And then soft terrain is like sand, water, things like that. So the VZ really turned well on hard terrain, but really struggled on medium. And you can see now it's actually not too bad. It's still nothing amazing, but it's a heck of a lot better than it used to be. Alright, well we got the enemy E50M trying to cross, and there you go. Nice 467 roll into his vehicle. I'm actually a little bit weirded out on what this E50M is doing. I'm going to reload another shell, and yeah, that player just got bonked again. Well, I can't complain. That E50M just got literally turned into soup. Alright, well, let's aim in another shell onto his vehicle if he wants to keep poking me. There you go. Nice shot right into his turret cheek for 420. Do you think the E50M will poke me again? Make your bets in the comments. I think he will. In fact, he already is. We got the WZ on my side. Nice 502 roll. You can see where this vehicle has just a really nice gun. I mean, the accuracy is pretty solid as long as you're not going anything fast. And the pen values are also pretty dang good. We can see here that I'm easily able to overmatch the side armor of that WZ-120. So already in this game, I mean, we've won. It's pretty easy to figure that one out. We got the K91 who appears to be camping in the back, who I'm going to try and get a shell into. Let's aim. Unfortunate. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to get a shell into that K91 anytime soon. Well, I know that we have mediums on our side, but I really don't care. I'm going to see if we can get some damage into the K91, because that player is the healthiest out of all the players on the enemy team. That's possible the Psi 8's going to keep reversing, which he does, but it doesn't really do anything for us, so yeah, I'm just going to keep on going, and we're going to see if I can get some damage into the K91. But yeah, so far, first impression, seems like the tank's doing pretty good. I mean, this wasn't really the best game to get an impression of the tank because of how bad the enemy team was. But yeah, the traverse speed, as we can see, seems pretty good for medium terrain. And that was the major problem I had with the VZ. So now that Wargaming actually buffed that, it's going to make this vehicle a lot better for really all situations. We're going to aim in here, and we're just going to load a premium shell on the K91 roof. We can see that's the really good premium pen right there. We're up to 3,700 damage. Not too bad at all. Now, the hatch is still very weak on this tank, and it is going to cause you problems when face-hugging players. But, as we can see, the rest of the tank actually is pretty good. We were able to deal 3,900 damage in this battle. We bonked the living crap out of that E50M. That player really thought he was going to be able to make it to mid-hill. I don't know even why it took that E50M so long to get there, but hey, first battle, 4,000 damage. We got 45,000 credits, and obviously top on the team. Alright, not all too bad. Let's do one more game, see if the VZ can keep up the pace. I think it will. As I said, I am really happy with this vehicle now. All the buffs that needed to happen to the tank did. I mean, sure, would I like a little bit more accuracy on move? Yeah, because it is a bit annoying how the gun works with combat stabilization, but Yeah, that's about it. I mean, everything else, the traverse, the top speed is fine. I would like a bit of a reverse speed buff, maybe instead of 13, 15, but it's not the end of the world, especially now that a lot of the autoloaders have been nerfed in 10.3. Like, obviously, the TVP deals less damage, it's got a longer intra clip, the 57 heavy has less DPM. Since all the autoloaders seem to have gotten nerfed, it helps this vehicle with its poor reverse. So here we are. Speaking of TVPs, we got one up against us. We also have a Foch 155, E100, a Kranvan. Krons are still very hard to deal with. It's one of the autoloaders that actually got buffed. So if that Kron plays properly and goes to mid-hill, could be a bit of a pain. But not much I can really do about that. The thing I will say I do like about the VZ is the power to weight's actually pretty solid. This tank is a top speed of 38, and as you can see, we are already up to our top speed. Once again, we can also see that this map is all medium terrain. There's not any bit of pavement anywhere. So you can see how common it is to drive on medium terrain. Obviously, any water, soft terrain. I don't really care too much about soft terrain for the most part, because you just shouldn't want to drive in water to begin with. But, yeah, it looks like the majority of our team is going over towards C, which is fine. If they can cover me from mid-hill, then it's not really going to matter. But you never know what your team's going to do. We're going to drive up and see if we can spot anybody. We do have the enemy TVP. There you go. Nice 513 shot right into his roof. The great thing about the VZ is that it actually features 470 damage per shot, which allows us to very easily outtrade really anything that we come up against. We got the E100. There you go. Nice 506 roll. And as we predicted, the Kron is indeed on mid-hill. Alright, well, let's reload again. I'm willing to take a shot from that Kron if we can bonk the C100. Okay. Well, that was very unfortunate. That shell should have easily penned the E100, but as you can see, the dispersion on this vehicle is kind of wonky for some reason. Kron is still looking at us, but I'm going to ignore him really quickly. We're going to aim it on the 100 track wheel, and there you go. Nice shot. We got a bounce from the 100, and we're getting some good bleeds out. Right now, I don't really know exactly what to do. Oh, boy. Welcome to Blitz, where people just get away with YOLOing you, I guess. Yep. Well, remember when I said autoloaders are the biggest problem for this vehicle due to its reverse speed? I wasn't kidding. I mean, I cannot believe that Kron just got away with doing what he did. Literally right over the hill, and nobody punishes him. That's incredible. Alright, well, I'm going to try and punish this guy. He's going to back up because he's a wimp, as we know. I'm going to get a nice shot into this player, and is he just going to try and drive out? I'm just going to make sure that he can't. I'm going to keep staring at this Kron the entire time. We do have the U100 off to the side, but I'm not really worried about that player. Although, that bounces. I don't really know what to do here, to be honest. This is a great example of why Krons are busted, though. I mean, there's so many people out there that always say, like, oh, you can just push the Kron. Yeah, okay, how? How would you like me to push it? Alright, well, there you go. E100 got killed, which was very important. We're just going to back on up. We're going to reload. We're up to 2,700 damage at this point, which is pretty good. And, let's see. Let's reload. Alright, we got the Kron, and I can't do anything to his vehicle right there. But we do get a nice shot into his track wheel for 450. Alright, let's put on our adrenaline, and let's see if we can get another shell into the Kron here. Let's aim it on his vehicle again. Ah, unfortunate. But looks like he's got the ST1 on his side now, which is good for us. Kron shoots. And we're just gonna push him. I mean, this guy's been annoying me long enough. We're gonna deal with our problems at this point. There you go. Nice 724 RAM, and he's out of shells. So that is the end of you. This is the end of the line for you, buddy. But as you can see, even a no camo Kron player can cause massive problems for a player like myself because you can't push it. Like, the turret armor is so strong on a Kron that you can't fight it when it's hull down. And it doesn't matter if the player's not good, you just can't fight it. So that's the always big problem I have with Krons in general, is that they are such a hard type of tank to fight. Now, for some reason, our E75 is capturing the base. I like how even when I step outside of Supremacy, I still have players capping bases. That's really annoying. I can't believe we're actually going to win this on base cap. So what would have been a very easy game for damage has turned into no damage once again. That's very irritating. Well, bruh. I like how I complained yesterday about Supremacy taking away the damage that I could have done at the end of the battle. So I put on Encounter, and my E75 sits in base the entire game, capping it. We could have legit done like 6,000, maybe even more than 6,000 damage that game. There was a huge chunk of HP left. That is... Ooh, that is angering. Either way, we did 5,000 damage, and once again, we showcased why the VZ is actually pretty solid now. I wouldn't call it the best heavy, but it's definitely not the worst. It's a very well-balanced tank, it's got a good gun, decent gun depression, and very solid frontal armor. As I said, the only real downside is that reverse speed. You watch that Kron drive right over the ridge, get 2 shells into us. The second shell, if we were in a tank that reversed a bit faster, would never have happened. But oh well. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.